And welcome back to Skin Deep. I'm your host, Sharon Morton, and with us to talk about how being an artist in the music industry is not as easy as it looks is music artist Chris Bivins. Hey again, Chris.
How you doing?
So, we know, welcome again to Skin Deep here on Sirius XM. We know that being a performer is hard work. It requires lots of discipline, a good diet, great exercise. And it can also be hard on you mentally.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. So, as a performer, there's the actual physical performance of the singing and the dancing, which is a lot to deal with.
Right.
But beyond that, it's also the balance of being a musician and having a relationship, having life.
Yeah,
in
a
general.
private life.
Yeah, a private life.
Yeah,
and
a social life.
A social life.
Right.
It's a lot that you have to kind of almost be superhuman, I think, because you're maintaining two different lives.
Wow. Yeah, and that can weigh on you, right?
Yeah, it's currently weighing on me right now.
Yeah. Getting here to the studio, right?
Studio. I got some personal stuff going on, so it definitely puts a toll on trying to even when you want to perform, you want to give the best version of yourself.
Right.
You want to perform at the highest possible possible ability you can do. So when you have things that go on in your personal life, it
can take a toll.
Yeah, it can take a toll.
Yeah.
And it makes it so that you can't perform at that level.
I think what people think is that celebrities are, not human.
Yeah.
Celebrities have problems too, just like everybody else, and have to know how to deal with those problems.
Yeah.
But people a lot of times don't want to hear about your problems,
care
unfortunately.
about your problems
they just want the show to go on.
They do. And can you blame them? Because to an extent, being that entertainer, you help us to not think about the pain that we're going through. Whether music, especially. If you're singing these songs, you want to hear these songs because you're trying to get through something.
Right.
So they don't care about your problems. You're a vice for them.
Okay. But a lot of artists write their pain and write down, what their lives are, and those are some of the best songs when you're talking about what's going on in your life, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. And so, this is a health and wellness show, and one of the things that I did want to talk about is, you're young right now, but as you get older and you continue to perform, you're gonna probably take your health even more seriously than you do now, and eat better and all of those different things. When you're out there on the road and you're performing in front of a crowd, what is it that you do before? Is there a regimen that you do before you go on the stage?
Honestly, not gonna lie, it's water.
It is.
You need lots of water.
I'm telling you, our former guest said that water is life. It's better than any drug.
Lots of water. I think because I did the BT College tour. Shout out to the audio guy Wayne, who's with me on that.
Wayne.
It's exhausting. You're going to city to city and. You're around a bunch of people. You gotta stay hydrated.
Wow.
I think that's the most important. I'm not the best eater in the world.
You're working on it.
I'm working.
You're a work in progress.
No, I'm not. I need to.
Yes, you are.
I need to work. After today, I think after today I'm gonna have a guilt trip. You're gonna be in my head. Eat better, Chris. Not like that. That's a terrible waste.
Okay. but the water is so imperative to you and being a performer and going from city to city to city. Speaking of which, the BET College tour. Yes. What do you do on that tour?
So when I was on the tour, this was 4 years ago. The tour was we traveled to every HBCU pretty much on the East Coast.
Okay.
And it was great. It was a great time.
Right. And you go out and you talk to all of these college students.
And we have this the emerging artists. So we had
oh, okay. All right.
I can't remember everybody's names.
But they're there to perform and introduce their new music.
Yeah. So all that, my mom's in the background trying to tell me. So what?
Yeah.
Luke James. Yeah. Luke James was on the tour with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Luke James was on the tour with me. We had Mila J was on tour with me.
Okay.
It's pretty much at that time the new cats, the ones that just got signed and all that stuff. So I don't know how I got on there, but I was on there.
And you were happy to be on that.
This is before the New Edition story and all that stuff. So this is right when Luke was really getting a name for himself.
Okay. And so the other thing I wanted to ask you is about your music. You do so much. You're a BT producer, and you used to host Flavor Zone. And you're I think you're out there promoting your new song, which is Cold Fire.
Yes.
Where can our listeners hear
Cold
that?
Fire is on everything. So Spotify, iTunes, you name it, it is there.
It is there.
Yeah.
Okay. And what prompted you to write that?
Okay, so Cold Fire, this is me really kind of getting back into being an artist.
Okay.
Because I kind of took a slight break just from doing the whole BET stuff, and I needed to do things that will directly bring money into my pocket. Truth be told, being an artist doesn't necessarily do that.
And people need to hear that. They think that when they look, everybody's a multimillionaire. That's not the case.
No. and I've been unsigned this whole time, so everything that I've done has been through the efforts of my parents that have helped out, and through my little scraps of money. So it's all been coming out of my pocket. So it's hard to maintain that. Just like maintaining a healthy life and maintaining that facade. It takes a lot of energy to do.
It takes a lot of energy, lots of money.
Yeah, lots of money. So.
Yeah, and so Cold Fire, you're out there promoting it yourself, you and your family.
Yep, this is me. So my BET connections have definitely helped. I definitely have made my net worth work for me.
Yeah.
So phone calls, that's pretty much what I've been doing. It's just playing the juggling act.
Yeah. And I understand Nelly was
my mentor.
Is your mentor, right?
Well, was
your mentor.
We can say is if it's better for publicity, but was. I was on a TV show called The Next. And it had Joe Jonas, Gloria Estefan, Nelly, and John Rich from Big and Rich.
Oh, yeah.
They mentor, for the best talents in the area. I don't know how I got that either. But so I represented Baltimore as me against 4 other people.
Oh, wow.
Nelly was my mentor.
That is a wonderful thing. Not many people can say that. I mean, I know it was helpful, right?
It was, so the cool thing about this, not being on TV, but it was actually the downfall, and this probably plays into actually having better health. I lost my voice on that show because I wasn't really healthy and wasn't,
taking care of myself.
So they, when we were doing the stuff with Nelly, they took us out to go sing in front of people and all this, rigorous exercise of things that I didn't do.
Yeah.
So that definitely, plays a toll. You got to be healthy.
Yeah. And you got to take care of your voice. So what do you do now to take care of your voice?
Right now, honestly, you would think I would have learned something.
You haven't learned your lesson.
I'm just getting back into actually performing and stuff. Because honestly, the truth be told, guys, is a lot of my stuff and a lot of my success and a lot of other people's success is online. I mean, you don't really need to perform, and if you do, it's called have a backing track.
Yeah. But you know what? If someone asks you to, open up a show and they're paying you, you're going to do it. So you have to. Your voice has to be good.
It has to be ready for a certain amount of money.
So that means it should be ready no matter what, Chris.
Back talk.
So if you have to be ready all the time, is what I'm
true.
thinking.
No,
as
you're
an
right.
artist, is that true?
I do think so. But this could almost be a debate too, because I feel like there's certain calibers of artists. If you're like this guys I know that are gigging all the time, you got to be healthy for that. To maintain that, especially when you're traveling, you're touring, you have to be ready for that.
Yeah. And so if you do get that opportunity to gig, I mean, you definitely would get yourself, in the best shape. Yeah. What do you do right now? Like, what does being healthy mean for you right now besides drinking water? I mean, do you have a particular exercise plan, or you're just lucky? And
I've been blessed with great genetics. Thanks, Mom. But I do dance still, though.
Shout out again to Mom, who's in the studio.
But I do dance, though. That's my exercise.
Oh, okay. Because dance is a wonderful exercise.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah, I do lots and lots of dancing, and so that really.
What type of dancing do you do?
Should I say that?
Salsa, merengue.
Yeah, I love. No, I've always danced. I've always been a great dancer, and it's good exercise, and I keep myself in shape. I'm 54.
Whoa, what? Okay, go ahead.
Dancing.
Go ahead.
Okay, so have you ever considered a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle for yourself?
Consider it, no.
Oh my gosh, this show is going up in flames.
I have dated several women that have been vegan or vegetarian, and I respect that. It's just, for me, I like meat. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely wouldn't mind maybe trying some dishes that that would be
And
similar.
a lot of the meat alternatives, they taste just like the meat,
right,
you know.
Right.
And that's what got me started. My daughter, she was kept egging me on to be vegetarian, and I was rejecting it. I love chicken. But once all of these new, new, I guess, meat alternatives, they started coming out, and they just made them taste just like meat. And so I feel really good. I feel better. I'm healthier. I'm glowing. You don't see too many wrinkles.
Yeah.
Do you see any wrinkles?
No, you look good.
Right. So I think I do owe a lot of that.
You look good. Nobody come at me, right?
I owe a lot of that, I think, to being a vegetarian. Yeah. Okay, so tell us, what are your dreams? What do you intend to do in the music industry? And tell us what some of the things are that you're producing, because you told me you do a lot of producing.
Yeah, I do a lot of producing. So I've been blessed to be a part of the ad sales department, and that pretty much is the department that brings in all the money for BET.
Okay.
So that we're doing a lot of integration stuff. Like I just got done doing a Geico commercial, which is crazy because I kind of play a jack of all trades. So sometimes I'm scripting, sometimes I'm scripting and the host, or sometimes I'm scripting and filming. Like, so
oh wow!
It's been cool. But this last one we did a Geico commercial for a original we have called Finding Justice, and we had Michael K. Williams came out to be our host for that.
Okay.
So I just produced that, and just right now I'm doing a lot of vignettes, is what we call them.
Okay.
Wrap arounds.
Okay. All right. Any plans for going out to LA by chance, and or New York, and exploring more production possibilities?
Yeah. No. So I'm in New York pretty much every other week. Because we're based in New York. BT, ever since we left DC, we pretty much New York, LA, Chicago, and in Atlanta we have like a satellite office.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm up there every other week, and then sometimes through the grace of God, there's an LA trip. I truly enjoy those trips.
Yeah.
But New York is really kind of my playground.
Your playground. Everybody I see now, they're really going out to LA and they're producing lots of things, and they're blowing up too.
They are.
And so you are, you have the pedigree, you have the resume.
Thank you.
You're already doing those things, so I can see you being out there in LA and blowing up. Just don't forget about me and Wayne,
no,
right?
I won't. It's funny. I did a couple of shoots. Me and Wayne went down to Miami for a shoot because I still do independent stuff on my own.
Oh, okay.
So I have my own production company called Biv Did That. So I play off of my last name, Bivins. So I always look out for my people.
Biv Did That. I like that.
So
okay.
Who did that?
Biv did that.
There we go. Can I get that?
Okay. So what were you saying about that?
Yeah,
you have your own stuff.
Yeah, so I have my own stuff that I do outside of the BT thing, and I always look out for the people that look out for me. Like Wayne, went on the college tour with me. Like I always look out for my people.
Yeah. And I'm gonna plug myself too, because Wayne is a former student of mine. Joel is a student of mine, and he's been doing a lot of things for me since, for the last 5 or 6 years, right, Wayne?
Wow.
So he's the person to know. Good person, good. Yeah. And I have my interns in the studio too.
Shout out to the interns.
Shout out to the interns. That's how you get it started. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more to Chris Bivins. He's doing it all. Okay, stay tuned right here on Skin Deep. And we're back here on Skin Deep on Sirius XM Channel 141. I'm your host, Sharon Morton. I'm in the studio with music artist Chris Bivins. He's the artist for the new, is it called Single? Cold Fire?
Yeah,
are they still saying Single?
Yeah, Singles work.
Okay, all right. He's also a BET producer and former host of BET's Flavor Zone. So during the break, I said I was going to ask you about what artists have influenced you and your music?
Okay, well, hands down, Michael Jackson.
Okay, that's everybody.
There's some people that don't say that, and there's something wrong with you. But Michael Jackson is the greatest of all time, hands down.
Yeah.
And then follow Chris Brown. Shout out to Chris Brown. I'm also a brand ambassador for Black Pyramid, his clothing line. So we've got to rock the Black Pyramid.
Is that it? Is that it? Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Something.
Okay.
And there's Travis Garland. He's an artist, and Craig David from the UK. Definitely big inspiration.
Okay, all right, that's good. Have you talked to and met all of them? Well, not Michael Jackson.
I wish.
Yeah,
I wish, Michael, man.
I went to his show, him and Prince, before they died. Oh my God, I just can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. Okay.
I wish.
Yeah, I was going to ask you too, when singing, are there any kinds of exercises you do so that you don't strain your voice, or you talk to a vocal coach? Or?
Yeah. So personally, I've never been like the best vocalist, but I do have 2 vocal coaches that I use, Terry Eberhardt and Mimi, who both come out and help me out, whether it's for specific songs I'm working on, whether it's the tour, that type of stuff. So they definitely, have all of the training and the ideas and the ways to, do it.
Yeah, and because they teach you how to keep your voice.
Breathing, really is the most important thing.
Okay, all right.
It's breathing, and then just, making sure that you're not straining, because that's usually the problem, especially if you're trying to, sometimes it's best to just give 90% and not 100% when you're practicing, because if you're getting ready to do a show the next day, you want to conserve that the energy.
Right.
Just you can still figure the note out in your head. I know that sounds weird, but you can think of the note rather than actually performing it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And they teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think artists probably should always have a vocal coach, right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down, especially because a vocal coach, that's what they do. I mean, they being an artist, I feel like sometimes you do the dancing and do all this other stuff. Sometimes you need an expert. So, like, if you're doing dancing, you need a choreographer because that's what they do.
Right.
If you're doing the vocals, you need that. If you want to get a good music video, you need someone that knows what they're doing specifically for that.
Yeah.
So that's what helps build the overall presentation.
Yeah. Presentation. That's everything.
Presentation.
Yeah. So when you're, say, for instance, you go on tour and you do Cold Fire, and you've done a couple other songs too, right? Yeah. Name some of those songs. Come on, now, drop those songs. What are some of those songs that you've done? Because I saw one of the videos. I really liked it.
What
it was a take on not Belle Biv DeVoe. You were singing other music, but it was your own.
Yeah, and it was Hotline Bling.
Hotline Bling. That was cool.
That was
I like that. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
When World Star was kind of a big thing, that got like 1 million some views on it.
Yeah.
So I did that. It was like a combination of a Drake song and some other stuff.
It was several songs.
So that was like, kind of showcased. But I've got like Gold Gods. I did that in L.A., which was also sponsored by the Gold Gods, which is like a jewelry line.
Okay.
Samurais did pretty well. I mean, I'm definitely done.
You've done a few, yeah. So if you go on tour, you got a few songs to sing. Yeah.
Oh, Essence Festival. My mom in the background.
Are you going to be there this year?
I might be there this year. I definitely did it last year. It was in New Orleans, which is amazing.
Yes, it is. I'll be there this year in the media room.
Oh,
so check me out. Yeah, so we can do an interview.
Yes.
Yeah, but you may be performing on one of the stages.
Yeah, I did one more stage last year, and I think we're looking to reach back out to them to see if they want me back.
I'm sure they will. I love New Orleans, except it's hot as fire.
It is hot.
Yeah, it's not cold fire. It's hot as fire.
Well played.
Yeah. So let's talk about, speaking of New Orleans, your travel, you know, and going to different places, because again, we're going to bring it back to health and wellness.
Yes.
You know, you try different foods everywhere. You know, what do you do when you're traveling and you don't know where to go and what healthy foods to eat?
There's this thing called Tinder. Just kidding.
That was a dating app.
Well, you got to ask somebody where the food's at. You feel me? Hey, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm so done. I'm going to get in so much trouble. But you meet people. I feel like one of my biggest gifts is my ability to communicate. So you just meet and you talk to people and it's like, hey, what's popping down here, you know?
Yeah.
So, in New Orleans, I think with the crawfish or some of that, which is my first time ever experiencing that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Everything there is
Everything
good. Have you
was
tried
good.
alligator?
We did. We had the alligator tails or something like that.
Wasn't it good? It tastes like chicken.
It was
Everything
okay.
tastes like chicken. Oh, you were okay. You were okay.
It was all right.
But yeah, to find healthy eating, I'm hoping this year when you go down, you'll find some healthy eating.
Yeah, I think you're motivating me to do this.
Yeah, some healthy eating choices. Right, Mom? Yeah, Mom wants what's best for you. Let's talk about the BET experience.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about that. I want to go. You got to let me into one of these places,
honestly,
Chris.
I'm still the low man on the totem pole, but once
so
I have my
full,
I can put in some names, maybe, you know what I'm saying. But
I'll get in there interviewing. Sure. I'll have to interview.
Yeah, because I think they have a whole press situation too down there too. I think with a lot of these things, it's just more or less kind of just getting ahead of the curve. Yeah. And just kind of, hey, I'd like to attend this year.
Right,
and usually it's a layup. But yeah, so BET Experience is pretty much our Essence Festival. It's got a lot of new artists that come down. We have after the final few days is the BET Awards, which is one of the biggest events on the planet.
You're saying come down to where? Let our listeners know.
Yeah, so it's come down wherever you're coming from. It's in LA. It's always in LA.
Yeah,
or it has been.
And so, what's your role there? Or what will your role be?
Typically, I'm either doing like some red carpet stuff, whether it's hosting or interviewing, or I'm doing some type of activation we have down there with one of our brand partners.
Okay.
So
you're really there for the whole time, the whole experience.
The past 2 years I've done it, I have been there for I think 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Okay. And it's really wonderful.
It is. It's great. The amount of people you meet. It's just a great time.
It is a great time. I was going to also ask you about what you used to do.
Yeah.
The Flavor Zone.
Yes.
That looked like you were having so much fun. Yeah, and you did it for a few years, right?
We did it for it looked like a few years.
It looked like about 2 years.
But we did it. It was like because the way it worked out, I think we started towards the end of the year and then went into the next year type thing. Okay. But yeah, so I ended up actually even getting that from doing the college tour. When I was on the BET college tour,
Oh, okay.
I filmed my tour just because I was excited about being on it.
Yeah.
And BET saw that and they were like, we'd like to maybe, give you your own little web series. So they gave me the BET College Tour web series, and then from there, they partnered me up with Coca-Cola and gave me the Flavor Zone, and that was cool. And that was actually, the Flavor Zone was my first time actually attending the BET Awards, and the BET Experience was because of having that show.
And look at what all of these things. One thing, it was kind of like a domino effect.
Yeah.
One thing led to another, to another, to another.
Without a doubt.
And so now you're out promoting your Cold Fire song.
Yes.
And I think you're doing all the rounds, right?
I'm trying to.
Anybody play?
Whoever lets me in. I'm knocking on doors.
Okay. Give our listeners, again, tell them where they can download your music, where they can hear you.
So I'm on everything. So Cold Fire is on Spotify, iTunes. But if you have any trouble finding it, I have a website. It's called ChrisBivinsOfficial.com. That's Chris, last name Bivins, B as in boy, I, V as in Victor, INS.
Okay. And
no
where are you on Instagram?
On Instagram, I'm at Chris Bivins. So CHRIS, last name Bivins. And
where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I want to be. No, I'm just playing. The politically correct version.
Yeah.
In 5 years, I'd like to have a couple of my own shows produced on various networks.
Yeah.
And I'd like to, I'd like my platform to be strong enough that other people can make some money.
What do you mean, bringing in other people, helping other people to produce for you?
Yeah, that type of situation is cool too. Yeah. But I mean, I just want to, whether it's Biv did that or whether it's just the Chris Bivins, brand, which is now trademarked. I got that.
Okay.
I just want that to bring in money for everyone that I feel deserves to be a part of the platform.
Right. Yeah. So, are you thinking you'll be in L.A. in 5 years?
Honestly, I'm not
just all
jumping
over.
Up and down about it. Yeah, I think L.A. I always love to go there, but my heart is in Maryland. That's
that's wonderful. That's where you're from, right?
Yeah. So I was born in D.C., but
okay,
I've been a Howard County resident for most of my life.
Okay.
So that's where my heart is. My kid was born there, so that's where I want to be. I think.
Yeah, I'm a D.C. girl, born and raised here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It has been a wonderful, very good Chris Bivins experience.
Wow. Okay.
Not a BET experience, a Chris Bivins
like
experience. You know what? Can you trademark that?
I could try.
Bivins
experience. I don't know. That sounds a little kinky.
We're not gonna go there.
Okay, cool.
I'm old enough to be your mama.
You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, that's it for now, folks. I'm your host, Sharon Morton, and I thank you, Chris, and everybody else for joining me here on Skin Deep. I hope you enjoyed the show. Visit us on SkinSoDeep.com and tune in on SiriusXM Channel 141 HUR Voices on Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. You can also hear Skin Deep on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, all of those things, just like you can hear Chris, for more insightful and enlightening discussions on all things that are skin deep.